She laughed when I knelt down with the ring. I was waiting for a yes, but she said it wasn't serious and just walked away. But that was only the beginning. It was supposed to be the happiest time of my life. I had it all. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. My fiancée, whom we'll call Jessica, was everything I'd ever wanted. We'd been together for years, and our relationship was solid, at least that's what I had convinced myself. But nothing was as it seemed. Our engagement had been a whirlwind. I had met Jessica 4 years ago, when I was just starting out. She was vibrant, funny, with a smile that lit up a room, and for some inexplicable reason, she chose me. We were inseparable. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. It all began when I asked her to move in with me. At first, there were no signs of trouble. She fit in with my friends and family. Even my parents liked her until my stepsister, Emma, started making it impossible to enjoy any family gatherings. I had grown up with a tough life, abandoned by my father at a young age and with a mother who never seemed to care about much beyond her social life. So, when Jessica came along, I felt like I'd finally found someone who truly saw me. But Emma, she was different. She was unpredictable, malicious, and for reasons I couldn't understand, she hated Jessica. Jessica's family was wealthy, and she was set to inherit her father's business. I never cared about that. I just loved her. But Emma, well, she knew how to manipulate people. And when she discovered that Jessica's family was wealthy, she began to plant seeds of doubt in my mind. She only wants you for your connections, Emma would whisper when no one was around. But Jessica wasn't like that. She wasn't. Or so I thought. Our lives were turned upside down when Jessica's father decided to drop Emma's husband from his company. It wasn't personal, it was business. The quality of the supplies was dropping, and the prices were rising. No business could survive like that. But Emma didn't see it that way. To her, it was an attack on her family, and I, being the person closest to Jessica, was the perfect target for her fury. A week after the decision, Jessica received an email from Emma. I wasn't sure what to expect, but the subject line, an apology, caught my eye. The email was unexpected. Emma was apologizing for everything, the bullying, the harsh words, the way she had tried to tear us apart. She admitted to planting the drugs in my room all those years ago, the same ones that had gotten me kicked out of my mother's house. At the time, I had never suspected Emma of being behind it, but it all clicked now. She had done it out of spite. What struck me the most, though, was the timing. She had to know that Jessica and I had gotten engaged. I had posted about it on social media, so the whole world knew. The way she worded her apology felt insincere. It was almost like she wanted something from me. I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't about making amends. It felt like a trap. Curiosity got the better of me, so I started digging. And what I found shook me to the core. Emma's husband had been supplying products to Jessica's family business. The same man who had been fired was now desperate to keep his company afloat. I was still trying to wrap my head around everything when I came across a post from Emma's husband. He had been bragging about how he was in talks with another supplier, someone who could offer better prices. And suddenly, it hit me. The reason Emma was apologizing wasn't to mend old wounds. No, she was trying to manipulate me. She was using me to get back at Jessica. She thought that if she convinced me that Jessica was the villain, I would somehow help her husband by influencing Jessica to keep his contract. But there was more. I found out that the man she was married to was a complete fraud. I wasn't the only one who had been betrayed by him. He had swindled other companies, but it was too late for them to turn back. Their businesses had already been ruined. Emma's husband wasn't just a failed businessman, he was a con artist. When I told Jessica about my findings, she was furious. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" she demanded. I couldn't answer that. I had been blind to her family's manipulations for too long, but I couldn't undo the damage. And then, just as we were starting to come to terms with it all, Emma escalated things. She posted an enraged message on social media, blaming me for everything that had gone wrong in her life. She accused me of sabotage, claiming I had orchestrated her husband's downfall just to get back at her. It was a lie, a complete lie, but she was a master at playing the victim. The post went viral, and soon, everyone was taking sides. The worst part? I felt guilty. I didn't want to ruin her life. But now, I was the villain in this twisted game. Was I the one who had manipulated all of this, or was she? Was it really my fault that her husband couldn't keep up with the demands of running a business? I had warned him years ago that the quality of his products was slipping. Was I wrong? As I sat there in disbelief, Jessica turned to me, her face hardening with the weight of her family's betrayal. "We need to cut all ties with them," she said. "No more family gatherings, no more helping them with business." They've made their choice, and now we'll make ours. I didn't know if I could do it. Not just for her, but for us. How could we ever move forward if the past was dragging us down like this? I still couldn't shake the feeling that everything I had done, everything I had sacrificed, had been for nothing. Emma had used my love for Jessica, my desperation to fit in, against me. And now, I was left standing at the edge of everything I thought I knew. Could we rebuild? Or was this just the beginning of a much larger storm? The tension at home was palpable after everything I discovered. Jessica and I barely spoke that night, though we shared a bed. Every word that passed between us felt like a potential landmine, ready to explode. She was hurt, and I couldn't blame her. I had let her family worm their way into our lives for too long, and now it felt like we were paying the price. I spent the next few days trying to make sense of everything, but it was like trying to hold sand in my hand. The more I tried to fix it, the more it slipped through my fingers. Jessica remained distant.